Every year, over 45,000 retirees move to Florida. Meanwhile, California just lost nearly 13,000 older adults in a single year. On the surface, this looks like a blowout. Florida wins, case closed. But here is what nobody is telling you. Some of those Florida retirees are quietly moving back, and some California retirees are refusing to leave even when the math says they should. So which state actually makes more sense for your retirement? We looked at the real numbers, not the brochures, not the tourism ads, not the realtor telling you everything is perfect. The actual data on taxes, healthcare, safety, cost of living, and one factor that almost nobody talks about that is quietly wrecking retirement plans in both states right now. By the end of this video, you will know exactly which state smart retirees are choosing and, more importantly, why. Let us get into it. Let us start with the number everyone brings up first: taxes. Florida has no state income tax, 0. Your Social Security, untaxed. Your pension, untaxed. Your 401k withdrawals, untaxed. California charges up to 12.3% state income tax, the highest rate in the country. On a retirement income of $80,000 a year, that is roughly $6,000 going straight to Sacramento that would stay in your pocket in Florida. But here is where it gets interesting. Florida's median home price sits at $372,000. California's median is $819,000. That is 2.2 times higher. A retiree selling their California home and buying in Florida could pocket over $400,000 in equity. That alone can fund a decade of retirement. Except there is a catch nobody mentions in those move to Florida videos. Homeowners insurance. Florida's average annual premium is $7,136, the highest in the entire country, 181% above the national average. Coastal areas like Boca Raton, $14,520 a year. The national average is $2,543. So that tax savings you were celebrating, a chunk of it goes right back out the door to insure your house against hurricanes. California has wildfire insurance problems too, but the statewide average is still significantly lower. The savings are real in Florida, but they are not as dramatic as the zero income tax headline makes them sound. Round 1 goes to Florida. But it is closer than you think. This is where California fights back, and it fights hard. Florida earned a D+ in senior healthcare outcomes, according to national rankings. It is one of 10 states that still has not expanded Medicaid. Access to specialists in rural parts of the state can be limited, and if you are retiring to a smaller Florida town to save money, the nearest quality hospital might be 45 minutes away. California ranks significantly higher in healthcare quality, hospital density, and access to specialists. The state has some of the best hospitals in the country: Cedars-Sinai, UCLA Medical Center, Stanford. These are not just good hospitals, they are globally ranked. If you are retiring with a chronic condition, or you're over 75, the difference in care quality is not trivial. It could literally add years to your life. And when you are retired, years are the one currency that actually matters. The irony is brutal. Florida attracts retirees with low taxes, then offers them below average health care when they need it most. California charges you more to live there, but gives you better odds of actually surviving to enjoy the retirement you're paying for. Kind of an important detail when the whole point of retirement is to actually be alive for it. And here is a number that should bother every Florida retiree. The state ranks in the bottom third nationally for preventable hospital readmissions among seniors. That means older patients are going back to the hospital for issues that better initial care could have prevented. When you are 70, a second hospital visit is not just an inconvenience, it is a risk. Round 2 goes to California. People assume Florida is safer because it feels like a retirement paradise. Palm trees and golf carts do not exactly scream danger. But let us look at the numbers. Florida's violent crime rate is 381 per 100,000 people. California's is 480 per 100,000. That makes California roughly 26% more dangerous by the raw data. Florida ranks 25th nationally, sitting just below the national average. California sits above it. But here is the nuance that matters for retirees. You do not live in a state average. You live in a specific zip code. The Villages in Florida, one of the largest retirement communities in the world, has a crime rate well below both state averages. Meanwhile, Carmel in California might be one of the safest small towns in America, but it will cost you $1.5 million to find out. Safety in retirement is less about which state you pick and more about which zip code you can afford. And in Florida, the safe zip codes cost a lot less. Round 3 goes to Florida. Now, forget the spreadsheets for a second. What does a Tuesday actually look like? In Florida, picture this. You wake up in a 3-bedroom house you bought for $350,000. It is 78 degrees by 9 a.m. You drive your golf cart to breakfast at the clubhouse. There are pickleball courts, a pool, and a calendar packed with social events. You are surrounded by people your age doing the exact same thing. It is comfortable, predictable, and honestly, for a lot of retirees, exactly what they want. Now picture California. You wake up in a smaller place, maybe a condo you're renting for $2,400 a month. But you step outside to 65-degree weather in January. You drive 20 minutes to a coastline that looks like a movie set. There are farmers markets with produce that was growing yesterday. Wine country is an hour away. The Sierra Nevada is 3 hours east. The cultural scene makes Florida feel like a waiting room with palm trees. Florida sells community and ease. California sells variety and beauty. One makes your wallet comfortable. The other makes your soul comfortable. And here is the honest truth most retirement videos will not say. Some people retire to Florida and love it for 2 years, then realize every day feels exactly the same. Others retire to California and love it for 2 years, then realize they are slowly going broke. The question is not which state is better. The question is which trade-off you can actually live with for the next 20 years. Round 4 is a tie. Now here is the round that changes everything, and almost no retirement video ever mentions it. Natural disasters and the insurance crisis that is quietly destroying retirement plans across both states. Florida averages a direct hurricane hit roughly every 3 years. In 2022 alone, Hurricane Ian caused $110 billion in damage. Insurance companies are fleeing the state. Premiums jumped 18% in a single year. Some retirees on fixed incomes are discovering they literally cannot afford to insure the home they already own. That is not a future risk. That is happening right now in 2026. California has earthquakes and wildfires. Both are real threats. But here is the critical difference. In California, you can choose where you live to minimize risk. Coastal cities like San Diego have minimal wildfire exposure and essentially zero major earthquake damage in modern history. In Florida, hurricane risk blankets the entire state. Tampa, Miami, Jacksonville, the Villages, nowhere is exempt. There is no safe corner, and it is not just wind damage. Flooding, storm surge, mold remediation after a hit. The costs pile up in ways that insurance does not always cover. One retired teacher on a finance forum put it perfectly. I moved to Florida to save money on taxes. Now I spend that savings on insurance premiums and hurricane shutters. Financially, I broke even. But now I also have 4 months of hurricane anxiety every single year. That was not in the brochure. Round 5 goes to California, and honestly, it is not close. Let us count it up. Florida took rounds 1 and 3. California took rounds 2 and 5. Round 4 was a tie. On paper, it is even. But here is what the scoreboard does not show. If you are healthy, social, and want the lowest possible monthly bill with a built-in community of people your age, Florida is your state. Buy into a 55-plus community. Enjoy the zero-tax lifestyle. Play pickleball until the sun goes down. You will live well for less. But if you have health concerns, value world-class medical care, want variety in your daily life, and can stomach the price tag, California is the smarter long-term play. You pay more every month, but you are buying something Florida simply cannot match: top-tier healthcare and a landscape that changes every hour you drive. Now here is the real move that the smartest retirees are already making. They sell their California home, pocket the insane equity, and buy in a safe Florida zip code near a quality hospital. They take California's real estate money and combine it with Florida's tax savings. Best of both worlds. That is not just retiring. That is strategic relocation, and the data backs it up. Nearly 2,000 California retirees made exactly that move last year alone. So which state would you choose? Florida or California? Drop it in the comments. I want to see this fight play out down there. And if this video made you rethink your retirement plan even a little, hit subscribe. We compare states like this every single week with real numbers, real data, and zero fluff. No brochures, no vibes, just the truth about where your money actually goes. See you in the next one.